2000.
So again, we are playing the button game, the stupid game, stand-up game, the nit tax game, whatever you want to call it.
We'll just open hammer.
Lexo going to try to win one right here.
A little bit more.
What a flop this is. What a flop. I mean, you get a raise, you get a 3-bet, you get a call. How do you ever put your opponent on a deuce? Now, he could have pocket eights. He could have an overpair in theory. But very unfortunate flop for Lexo. It's a really good turn card for him in the sense that I do think your opponent's going to have some aces in his range, and Lexo does check it back. And now Action Dan doesn't know what his opponent had. I mean, obviously, if you knew your opponent had nines, you probably raise right away.
All in.
Wow. And Lexo has now turned his hand into a bluff. What an amazing play here. Look at this. Oh, and there's a call. Nines are no good.
Nice, Sam.
Nice.
Biggest pot of the night. Lexo going for the button.
Tanking, I thought I was for sure good.
Oh, he thought he was.
Raise.
This time Mariano's got it. Action Dan just calls. Pot now $10,000. Those little red chips, 5K each. And we got an action flop. Top pair here for Action Dan. No hearts out there for him. But he can take the lead with a 5, a 4, or an ace. Mariano does have the queen of clubs in his hand. And as you can see, the pot, $10,450. That's in the bottom right corner of your screen. Mariano's queen still in the lead. Now a 3-1 favorite, 17,000 in the pot. Action Dan still looking for an ace, a 5, or a 4. Mariano now bets 10,000. Action Dan makes the call. The river completely irrelevant. Mariano now checks. 37,000 in the pot. I don't believe a bluff will work here. Action Dan in the tank. Mariano has already checked.
70.
And he goes 70,000. Wow. Well, if you were going to try a bluff, I mean, that's the sizing that's going to make Mariano a little bit uncomfortable. This is kind of the hand we've been waiting for. This was 4-bet pre. Mariano went pretty small on the flop. Went 60% pot on the turn, and then he checks the river. I have to imagine that Mariano snaps any kind of smaller bet on the river. But this is nearly 2x pot. Action Dan absolutely turning his hand into a bluff. Mariano trying to figure this one out. 70,000 to win 107. I don't believe Mariano's going to fold, but we'll see. This is a big bet. You don't get the nickname Action Dan for nothing. Mariano clearly uncomfortable. And he lets it go. What a bluff from Action Dan. I really did not think there was a chance of Mariano folding until I saw the sizing from Action Dan. And you got to give Dan credit. You got to give Dan credit deciding to go for the bluff, but then also having the brass ones to go with that sizing. Wow. Well, it took us a couple of hours. Well, we've had some action, actually. But that was an absolutely dynamic hand. And Action Dan putting on a show for us tonight. Just no fear whatsoever from Action Dan.